All right. I think people can hear my background. Let me cut that down. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chili Willy podcast. I'll get my guest on here in a second, and we'll be going live. Here we go. Of course, every time I get on this thing, man, I have issues. There we are. There we are. We're all good. Hello, hello,
Hello.
Rosita. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm okay.
Hey, hey.
Hey, I want some taters right
Oh,
now.
some taters, taters. Let me get back to my screen, man. Let me get back to my screen. Okay, wait. Okay, here we go. All right. Welcome everyone back to Chili Willy's podcast. This is I don't know how many episodes, but anyway, this is how we do it every Saturday night at 6 p.m. here in the Philippines. And we are interviewing nothing but the best out of the Philippine wrestling scene. And tonight, our special guest is the MWF referee, Rosita. Rosales.
Hey guys.
How are you? How are
Hey
you?
coach. I'm okay. No, just trying to survive the pandemic.
Yeah, I know, man. That's what everyone's saying. Everyone's talking about, trying to survive the pandemic and all that, and it's just hard. The best thing you could do is just ride it out. You know what I mean? Just ride
Yeah.
that shit out because
Yeah.
there's nothing else you can do, right?
Yep.
You,
Yep.
can't do shit else.
This
So
is like a battle you have to deal with invisible. Like it's not any other match that we have in the wrestling industry where you have someone you can beat up personally. It's
right,
more of like it's an invisible man that you have to really fight for.
yeah, that's crazy, man. That's
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? What have you been doing? During this past year, what have you been up to?
Just working. Just basically working. In the early stage of the pandemic, we were trying to sort of do online stuff with MWF page, but you have personal stuff you have to deal with as well. So right now we're just trying to build ourselves first before we try to build the page again. Everyone's still they have their own problems right now with the pandemic, and it's really hard to move right now. So we'd rather just focus on ourselves. And the wrestling industry will not go away in terms of here locally. So when everything is right, everything is okay, everyone's well enough, then hopefully we will ride that wave again and do some shows, wrestle some people up. I would like to meet some people up.
Right,
I
right.
miss I miss training. I miss
Yeah, of
training so
course.
much.
Exactly. Yeah, that's. I think everyone does. You know what I mean? It's like everyone just sits home and like just chill and but you only can do so much of that, and now everyone wants to get out and everything and all that good stuff. I see your big boss is just chimed in. Big Tariq. What's up, Tariq? Gotta give
Yeah.
Tariq the big props. So let me get back. Let me get to this. How did you get into pro wrestling, and why? Why did you get into pro wrestling?
I knew you'd ask that.
Of
uh,
course.
of course. I think I just give it a short summary. So I got into local wrestling in particular in the late 2017. Because I was working with my best friend with her thesis film, and the crew, I met people who were actually part of the local scene, and it really got my interest. So I
Hmm.
decided to watch a show, help out in some way that I can. Then right after I graduated college, MWF opened tryouts for the first batch of factories, and I immediately tried it out. So I think you remember, you were there during our first. I think my first. I think first or second day in tryouts, and
Right.
here I am. I basically did my best, work hard, and basically now I'm part of the industry,
Okay.
and that's basically my story, how I really got involved in the local scene.
Okay.
But in terms of refereeing, because originally I was really training to become a wrestler.
Uh-huh.
We first met, but because of I was having difficulties in terms of learning something as well as with my back. I
Hmm.
was having some back pains, and it wasn't really a good thing to continue on. It was a personal and a decision of the coach as well to have put on side first. Just
Okay.
in terms of safety, everyone. I pulled myself out. Then I I just kid around with Tarek. I told him during one of our shows that what if I try out as referee
Right.
for MWF, and he was like, "We'll see about that," laughing. Ha, ha, ha. um,
Uh-huh.
Out of nowhere, the next show after that show, Veronica messaged me if I wanted to try out and referee one match for our Halloween show. That was
Right.
October.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, sure, why not? Give it a try. I was there when one of my batchmates was being taught how to be referee for that night. And I said, yes, why not? Sure. Then eventually I worked on that first match. Then originally I was just working on one match for that show. Then doing other production work such as photography for MWF. So after that
Okay.
match, um, Veronica took me to the side and told me to not change my clothes, because originally I was going to change my clothes to, you know, take pictures. And she was like, don't change your clothes. I'm giving you another match. And so she gave me another match that I had
Nice.
no time to prepare. I really didn't
Uh-huh.
know anything. So I was
Right.
very, very clueless. And I did the match. Then after that, I learned moving forward. And, you know, now I'm
Okay.
teaching referees in terms of MWF. And hopefully soon teaching more with the other promotions, especially. So
Okay.
um, so hopefully, when things are all right, I'll be able to teach more, learn more. I really miss the wrestling industry, to be honest, and the refereeing. Uh, so,
Right. Right.
anyways, that's how I really started in terms of the wrestling industry here locally.
Cool. Do me a favor. Can you bring your mic closer so because you're going in and out.
Oh,
Just
sorry, sorry, sorry.
yeah, yeah, you're going in. But anyway, so your experience in refereeing, um, you
Zero.
who taught yeah who helped you, who taught you, who gave you that experience of being a referee, or
Mm-hmm.
did they just throw you in the wolves and said, okay, deal with it, and because
Yeah.
refereeing is an art also. People they kind of overlook the referee, but the
Mm-hmm.
referee is very important in a match. You got to make sure that you don't draw the heat on
Yep.
yourself,
Mm-hmm.
or you got to make sure you're not standing there watching the match as a fan. So you have to be you really have to be engaged in both. You have to watch everything that's going on around you, and also the match itself. And
Mm-hmm.
so my question is, who taught you how to do that, or do you just kind of pick it up as you went?
As mentioned a while ago, when I wasn't, when I initially told Derek that if he could give me a chance to referee, a batchmate of mine was being um kind of mentored for one show because one of the referees was absent. And, they needed a replacement, so it was a quick uh one-on-one, and I was there when that friend of mine was being taught. So basically I learned the basic there, but when Tarek told me that I will be refereeing for the next show, or Veronica told me to referee for the next show. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what I did was during training before the actual show for that specific match, I would really watch and listen to the two referees, the two wrestlers in terms of what moves they'll be doing, what storyline, um, how they're going to do it. So it was a constant. Every training, I was there watching, taking down notes, as well as
Mm-hmm.
practicing as much as I can to do pins, do counts. So basically, it was just sort of like I did kind of self-taught myself in terms of um, how to referee. I mean, watching referees from WWE for reference, as well
Okay.
as um, with Coach Fab, since I am kind of close with him, I would usually ask him in terms of like tips on what I can do, because he would let us referees do practice matches, join practice matches as well when they do training. So that's one of my way as well to know what where I'm going wrong, and my pins are in sync. How do I deal with the wrestler going outside? How do I
Right.
count them? So it was kind of like there was a preparation, but there's still like I still had to learn in terms of experience, in terms of learning, watching other people, fellow referees that were first before me, as well as trying to develop it more uh, into a system when I
Mm-hmm.
was teaching other referees already after after me. So that's how usually my system is. So um, when there are let's say critics about referees for shows, I usually take that and note it down. Then during
Mm-hmm.
trainings, I try to work it out with the wrestlers. Like
Okay.
um, they watch me. They really. I also do physical things like I also try to really keep up with them, because when you're a referee, you have to keep up with the wrestlers as well. Because if they're fast, you
Right.
have to be
Exactly.
fast in terms of
Mm-hmm.
how they move. Because you have to see everything. You're the one who's going to uh you're the one who, for the lack of a better term, you're the one who's going to judge it.
Mm-hmm.
If that referee if that wrestler is doing something right or doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I really trained myself with the wrestlers. Uh, watch a lot of referees. Talk to Coach Fabs about it. How can I improve? How do I um, do the system that I have right now and transfer it, or help the new referees learn from it. So it's more of that system that how I really develop in terms of refereeing. Because I do tend to watch um, uh, when we did tapings for Action and Melody. I usually do watch myself during my match
Mm-hmm. Right.
where I was going wrong. Not to make fun of myself, but it's more of like um, to know mentally that
Yeah.
I messed up in that part, and um, it's kind of like okay, I shouldn't do that the next time, and
Yes.
take it down. So for me, any form of comments or criticism in terms of refereeing, I don't really take it personally. It's more of like um, something that you have to keep in mind. Like if the fans see it better than I do, because of course I'm in stage or on stage with the wrestlers, so the
Mm-hmm.
how they see the match really matters to me. And if they have any referee comments to it, I'm glad to accept it and work on it.
Right. Okay. That's good. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot to actually handle as a referee. It's just
Yeah.
it's not really an easy job. You know, you really got to you got to know your. It's almost like being a manager or valet. You have to know your key points. You got to know the finishing moves. You know
Yeah.
the kick outs and everything, and so because sometimes wrestlers forget, you
Yes.
know, and if they are tired and their mind is somewhere else, you know, you do the one, two, and you know they're supposed to kick out, they better
Yeah.
kick out, or else you know it's gonna mess up the match. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's very hard, man. I mean, it's I know it's not here in the Philippines. It's not an art that a lot of companies here, well, the three companies here, they don't really train people as a
Mhm.
referee. It's kind
Yeah.
of an afterthought. It's kind of an afterthought. People just throw them in there. Hey, you ref this match, and they assume that the people like you guys are supposed to know how to ref.
Yeah.
And refereeing is very very hard. It's a very hard thing
It
to
is.
do. Um, and you got to be on your p's and q's because excuse me, if you don't make the right moves, you know it's going to mess up the match. So
Yep.
this is going out to everyone who's watching, who's in the other promotions here in the Philippines. Train your referees, respect your referees because
Yes.
it is a hard job, you know,
It
and they make the
is.
match. You guys really make the match, you know. Of course, if you're doing a battle royal, you know that's not
Mhm.
you're not going to be involved in that shit, you know, or a lumberjack match, you know. But you know, falls count anywhere, you know, 10-minute falls count, you know,
Yeah.
one fall
One.
here, tag match. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are, you really have to study your craft and really make it
Yes.
make it good and hone in on it. You know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
now, being a female ref, I know there's not many here. Well, there's not many female refs, period, in pro wrestling, but definitely here
Yeah.
in the definitely here in the Philippines. How do you feel about that? Do you think that you get a special treatment? Do you think that you get what's the word? Some people like look down on that, or how do you feel about that?
Um. Well, when I initially found that I am, or I don't really. For me, personally, I don't really claim on it. I don't want to claim what people are telling me. You should claim it. You are the first female referee in pro
Are you okay?
wrestling in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia. Like, I kind of don't want to claim it because personally, for me, it's an honor to be in the first place. Not that I'm projecting it or what, but it's mostly just just try to keep humble. For me, it's not really the title that matters. It's not really being the first female referee that the title doesn't really matter. For me, it's just really doing what the best that I can as a referee, not as a
Okay.
female referee, and growing from it and letting other my students, my fellow referees learn from me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I'm just hoping in that in the future that it just won't be me to be it just won't be me that will be the female referee. More
Okay.
I'm hoping to be an inspiration for more female to do referees, not only wrestling. I mean, um it's not